It's the mayor of Magaville, baby. Hey, you know who we voting for? We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Red pill poppin', swerving in the Trump. Republican 4G, Antifa knows what's up. Red, white, and blue, Mega Nation, throw it up. Black, white, and brown, all about another Trump. Democrat Party gon' take your freedom. Indicting our president cause they can't beat us. It's a two-tier justice system. Put America first, we the big. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. Let's go, Brandon, sing it. We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voted Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Now I pledge allegiance to vote for Trump. There's a red wave coming, you gon' surf for what? And God I trust to take the devil away. Lock Joe Biden up and throw the key away. Your propaganda ain't gonna work on me. Bidenomics is like you working for free. I demand reparations from every idiot that voted for Joe Biden, boy, period. Period, Sleepy Joe is a fraud. And the bloodbath in the Oval Office. The media is the enemy of the people. The Democrats and the fake news always cheat. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. FJB, FJB. Let's go, Brandon, sing it. We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voted Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy.
Good morning, everybody. You are watching on your TVs on the Smart Money Culture TV network in Texas and Louisiana, as well as joining from around the world on our wonderful streaming platforms like X and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all of these other ones. I'm still scared of streaming on LinkedIn. They really got me there. I lost my LinkedIn account 3 times in like 1 month. It's like, all right, guys. And then I streamed. Well, okay, maybe they don't like some of this stuff. So then I just streamed the market report from Matt Dixon, and they said, "Oh, that was bad too." And I said, "Okay, guys, that's all right. I get it. Whatever you guys want. I won't stream on LinkedIn anymore." So now I share my Rumble video on LinkedIn, and that's what I do. And I'm sure there's just someone that doesn't like me there. There's obviously somebody that likes me too, so that's good. And I will say that I got hacked, and someone stole my account, and the support came through. Support did come through for that, and they helped me out. Thank God I was able to, before he changed everything, get a report in and say, "Here's my passport, and here's me. This is me. This is my account." I have been targeted pretty relentlessly over the last bit. Going up against the deep state, the cartel, central banking cartel that nobody talks about really, the shadowy cartel that rules the world, is not a very popular thing, apparently. Might be popular with the people, but there's other people. So I have certainly been targeted on everything. I will tell you, set up 2-factor authentication on everything, because if you don't, you are eminently hackable. I don't know how exactly they get everybody's different passwords and stuff like that. I don't know how they do it, but maybe it was the AT&T hack. That's what I decided. It was probably the AT&T hack that they got everything from. Who knows? But your stuff is not secure. Make sure you set up 2-factor authentication on all your stuff, including your X account, because you lose your X account, and that's something else too, right? And it's hard to get it back and get prove you, and it's difficult. So anyway, but we are on Rumble. Make sure to like, and there was a new page over there that we started a couple weeks ago, so make sure to like us over there and comment and follow. We're also on, of course, Instagram. I have to click go live on Instagram. That's always a little tricky there. I got to remember to click go live. All right, now we're live on Instagram too. Twitch, Crypto Cake, YouTube, of course, and Networks Manager. If you're not following Networks Manager on Facebook, make sure to follow that. Networks Manager. Kind of funny, the comment from Kamala Lala Harris. There cannot be two sets of standards. One for Facebook and one for Twitter. It's like, lady, you are really out there. I'll tell you what, guys. They are definitely setting us up for a Harris win. I'll tell you the comments that came out of her mouth. Let me see if I can cue up the clip here real quick. The comments that came out of her mouth over the end of the week here were absolutely frightening. Talking about free speech, freedom of speech. And not so much from our friend there. She says, well, it needs to be regulated. Some things need to be regulated. Free speech needs to be regulated, she claims. I've been posting a lot on X. I do love X. X is my favorite platform by far. It's nice. Actually, the truth is, everybody got mad at Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey, say what you want about the guy, but back in the early days, actually, Twitter was free. Once they got rid of them, and then it wasn't so free anymore. And then they brought him back, and it was a little more free. I mean, I basically, I've been through it all. I think I've been on the platform since the early days. I was actually working with the API way back when. We're again working with the API, so expect some things to come out that should be pretty cool here. All right, I think I found a little trick here. I'm going to be able to find this clip. Let's see, the 26, is that right or no? We're talking about blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I don't know, maybe not. Anyway, the clip, Harris. I should be able to find this for everybody. Let me try another way. Wait a minute, let me see here. All right. Kamala Harris, free speech. That should pull it up, right? Or lack of free speech. Oh yeah, here she is. Oh yeah. Here we go. I found it. It's not my. I published it on mine as well, but here it is. This is the tyrant herself. Listen to this. I mean, this is shocking, really.
Millions and millions of people with just privileges, and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that just privileges, and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
Oh my gosh, they're speaking to millions of people without oversight or regulation. I mean, these people are absolutely insane. I mean, these are like, and the problem is, so she was talking, from what I understand, okay, and that clip is the same clip I had. It starts right there, so I always am a little bit questionable for sure when you get a clip like that starts and it doesn't have the whole thing, okay? But I think what they're proposing, she was saying, was that Brazil had every right to take Twitter down. And of course, right, I guess Brazil does. But point is, then she qualified it by talking about how dare that the slaves be able to talk freely and to talk to millions of people without oversight. I mean, I'll tell you what, this girl gets in, and guys, you might want to move somewhere else. Problem is, there's nowhere else to move to. Nowhere else, guys. Where are you going to go? I love my friends over in Dubai. I do. I love Dubai. But I always told my buddies, the guys working for me and everything, hey, listen, guys, we are here as a guest of the king. Don't smoke your wacky stuff here. Don't do anything crazy. Okay? You can have as many girls as you want over here. You can go drink. It's the right places. You can do everything that's within the okays of this place, but don't do what they don't want you to do, because we are guests of the kingdom. And that's how it is. And so if you go over there, you are a guest of the king. You're a guest of the kingdom. And I always said that to everybody. That's his place. And so it's not freedom that you get over there. Now, you can have protection, you can have the different things, but don't get it messed up. And I have a lot of friends in really high places over there, but there are some situations I'm not going to be able to pull you out of, guys. So you guys make sure you keep your noses clean here. That was what I always told the guys. Let me see here. Kamala Harris. Tyrant against free speech. Broadcast. So it's a obviously you guys know it's a holiday today. I think it might be a bank holiday in Europe as well. It's always funny. They have bank holidays in Europe. I always thought that was weird. Bank holiday. Why is it bank holiday? Bank holiday. Well, because the banks are in charge. The banks are the ones who rule us. The central banking cartel. They're the ones that rule us. Makes total sense. At the time, it didn't make sense. Now it makes sense. So there's nowhere else to go, guys. Where are you going to go? You can go hang out in the Caribbean. It's not that bad of an idea. Now, the thing about the Caribbean is, of course, the Caribbean has been a place where historically guys have gone to hide and get away. It certainly is nice and comfortable. But not much there. Speaking of girls, how many girls there? I don't know why I keep talking about girls. I'm married like 16 years this week. I have 2 girls. I always loved girls. So God gave me 2 daughters. Now I have 3 girls. Someone asked me the other day, Bruce, how do you handle me? This is a girl. How do you handle me? What do you mean, how do I handle you? I just let you do your thing, and I shut up and shrug, and I do my thing. That's how you handle it. If things get too far out of line, you know, guys. So anyway, it's fun. It's fun. I would have had more kids. We tried to have more kids, but we didn't. We were a product of our time. Didn't get married till we were 30 years old. I met my wife when I was 18. We were sweethearts, 18, 17. I really liked her a lot. I told her, you look like you could be from my family. It was very interesting. I thought, gosh, man, this girl looks like she could be from my family. 12 years later, I made her my family. Yeah, it's funny, huh? But I knew way back then. But of course, you know, that's the life we live in. People ask me, go, Bruce, well, what are you going to do? You know, what are your girls going to do? What do you mean? What are they going to do? They're going to have a family. I hope. Wow. What about the career? What do you mean about the career? That's what I want the career to be. I want to have some grandkids. Get married and have some kids. It's the most important thing that they can do. And they can have a career later. They can have kids and then have a career later. But you have a very small amount of time to have a family and have kids. Especially for the women. Especially for the women. I actually saw something very interesting that came across. One of my brothers sent it to me or something. And they said that as the man gets older, his kids, the traits, his genes come into the kid more and more and more. I thought that was very interesting. Of course, if you're a man, it is a bit different. You can have kids for a long, long time. But if you're a woman, you have a very short amount of time. And we have the duty to tell our girls the truth. We have a duty to tell them the truth. And that's what I want. And I'm not saying that my girls can't be professionals and doctors and lawyers and, engineers and all that stuff, because that's fine too. But don't trade having a family for a stupid career that you're just going to be a slave for 20, 30, 40 years and then hopefully retire. That's not a good trade-off. I'm sure there's a lot of people maybe watching that didn't have kids or they don't have kids, or if you can still have kids, you should have some kids. I talk about it often because it is so important. Everyone should have kids. Everyone should have kids. It's your duty to society. So the Trump effect on Bitcoin. So while I've been talking here, while we've been on the show, Bitcoin did have a nice bounce upward. It went from let me see here, 30 minutes. Yeah, nice pop, which made everything kind of pop and turn green. I have Matt Dixon's market report that I'm going to play here in a minute, but here we have, I'll show you this too. This is what I was looking at first. This is one of my preferred charts here. Bitcoin Wisdom. I've been using this forever. They lost the .com a long time ago, and then they switched to the .io. They were down for a little bit, but this is the 4-hour chart here. Daily. So I do expect sideways chop, and I've said this for a while, sideways chop until at least mid-September, okay? And then we have Uptober. But sideways chop, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you're margin trading. So you have to be very careful. Set your stop losses. And don't just buy. Only make trades that you are confident that you can win. Matt and I are working on the platform to get everybody involved so that you guys can start getting more involved. But you can see right here, it just in the last hour, Bitcoin up almost 1%. Ethereum in that same hour really took off. 2.5%. So that's why I love margin trading. 2.5%. If you were even, if you were even 1x, just double leverage, that's 5%. If you're doing like a 10x, that's 25%. That's pretty major. Now, if it goes the other way, you got to have your stop losses in because you will lose. Quickly. BNB with a nice bounce here too, heading into the holiday. Labor Day. It's Labor Day here in the U.S. Solana equally is equal movement here. XRP, it's going to hang out here. It's going to make everybody think they're going to lose it. Doggy, my favorite Dogecoin here. Ton coin, 1%. I love the Ton. As well, I'm going to talk a little bit today about dogs. Dogs. Dogs down today, okay? Yes, they're down today. and they're actually down since they launched. But this meme coin, they have all the right things in place. They got it all in place, guys. Dogs. They're all fun in Telegram. They got the Telegram integration. They really have it. They have it going on here. Let me go over here to their Twitter. Dogs community. 3.7 million followers on X. I mean, we're talking, guys. This is big time here. Let me just put that down because we're going to talk about it early here. Talking about dogs. Talking about the dogs. So, it's kind of like, are you trading? Talking about the dogs at 20 Impact Money Show. Are you trading it? All right. So when you look at this crypto, I'm going to go back to their coin. Wait a minute. Am I still on there? Yeah. So I'm going to go back to their coin market cap page here. Well, first of all, here, before I do that, the dog principles. Do you like to wait? Neither do we. Here are some key things about the upcoming dog listings. Listing, no locks. This is July 23rd. That's old. Okay. Breaking. Support for Pavel Durov is growing worldwide. Last night, and a graffiti featured the meme coin dogs and calls to free Pavel. Appeared near the Pompidou Center in Paris. I don't know if you guys heard. They're moving to impeach Macron. I wonder what that'll do to Pavel's deal here. All right. So point is that these guys, they have a lot of money that they've put together here. Okay. Doesn't mean it's going to go to the moon, but here you go. Binance, these listings cost millions of dollars normally. Okay. A lot of times. OKX, same thing, Bybit, have a bit of a different thing, but you have to have the community, Gate, KuCoin, Mexi. These guys spent a lot of money. Crypto.com, okay? You probably have an account there, crypto.com, you can get dogs. Yeah. Now, highly speculative. These are highly speculative digital assets, okay? I get paid to do this stuff. Okay. And don't do anything that you don't spend anything that you can't lose, because you can lose it all. You have been warned. That's your warning for today. I have it up on my X too. Paid post, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. My biggest thing is to end the Fed. We got to end the Fed. Okay. We got to end the Federal Reserve. Get ourselves out from the central banking cartel that is ruling the world. And that's why I put my man Massey up here. Thomas Massey, because he's basically the only one carrying the anthem. I shouldn't say the only one. I should say the only one in the House. We have Rand Paul, of course. Ron Paul, Rand Paul's father, was the original end the Fed guy. Not original, of our time. End the Fed. We got to end the Fed, guys. I think people are starting to get it. They're starting to get it. So I have the market report here with my main man, Matt Dixon. as I said, I think they are on vacation, bank holiday over there too in Europe. But I could be wrong. Let me load this thing up here. Huh. Well, I don't know why it keeps opening. That's pretty annoying. All right, here we go. Okay, this is the market report with my main man, Matt Dixon. Matt and I have been working together for years. Made a lot of money together.
Good morning, Bruce. Morning, Impact Money viewers. I hope you had a great weekend. Unfortunately, we didn't get everything we hoped for. We got the PCE figures come out actually better than expected, which I'm surprised the market took a downturn from that. I was anticipating this. This is precisely what I expected. The market was expecting worse. In other words, higher PCE, and it remained stable. So if you remember last Friday, we spoke about for the whole of the last year, every single month without fail, the PCE, which is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation, of course, the PCE has either fallen or it's remained stable. This month, they're expecting it to rise, and it didn't. It remained stable. So you'd think this would be good for the markets. I mean, it actually does give the Fed room to lower interest rates come September 18 on their FOMC interest rate setting meeting. So it is a good sign, but I actually think it's just the market's just delaying. It's still in consolidation mode. And we'll look at the charts briefly. We'll run through the charts and just see where we're exactly at. But nothing has been invalidated. This is very typical of these summer doldrums, as it were, the quiet summer when a lot of traders are away, certainly institutional traders are away. There's nothing really driving the market, and the market tends to wash this way and that way, not going any particular direction. And that is typical of what's called a corrective wave structure. So we've had, for example, if we just look, I'll start on Solana where we're at the moment, actually. We can see from this C labeled down here on the bottom left, we can see we moved up reasonably sharply. And that's the kind of impulsive move. There's no overlap of the waves there. But then we can clearly see substantial overlap in what I've labeled as a W, an X, and a Y in blue. Now, it could be complete here, the Y wave, or we could have a bit lower to go. Corrective waves are a little bit uncertain, but one thing we can be reasonably confident of is we won't break below this spike low here, which I remember saying at the time, this is a time to buy when Solana was $110. We came down quite sharply at that time with a bit of a sell-off in crypto, and that was a good time to jump in. But even now is actually great from a risk-reward perspective. Yes, the market might go a bit lower, so be very, very careful. Don't commit funds that you need for tomorrow or in the near future, but it is actually a really good corrective pattern. This, to me, is very clearly 3 waves down here. So this wave down here cannot be counted as wave 1, this first move down here, because it is overlapped by this move up here. You can see it's actually overlapped by it. So the fact it's overlapping, this must be some kind of 3 down, 3 up, and it could be a small, it's ABC or WXY down to make a larger W wave. Then again, we've got another 3 waves higher to make the X wave. And then this is, again, most likely, it can potentially be 5 waves. So it could actually be an A, a B, and a C. So it could be what's called a flat correction. This would be an expanded flat correction, or it could be a WXY. It really doesn't matter how we label it. They are corrections. And as we said on times past, there are multiple different kinds of corrections, even within the flat family. The flat family is 3, 3, 5. We've got the zigzag family, which is a 5, 3, 5. I would say this clearly isn't a zigzag. This is a flat. So within the flat family, there's various alternatives: flat, regular flat, expanded flat, running flat, all sorts of permutations there. But even so, they're all corrective. They wouldn't be expected to drop below this, the start of this wave, this impulsive wave higher. So that's why, from a risk reward perspective, right now, there's less to where you place your stop loss. You place your stop loss fractionally below here. So there's less distance from here to here as there is from here to the upside. And that's a minimum upside, by the way. We would expect it to go far beyond here, way higher than here. So I am expecting a really good bull run to come after this correction is complete. But being quiet summer months, we don't know quite when that is going to be. But I do suspect that we're only now a couple of weeks away, just over a couple of weeks away from the Fed interest rate decision. So the markets may possibly tread water till then. And the Fed is going to be, as we say, data dependent. So the PCE was a very important piece in the puzzle where we didn't get elevated PCE as the market expected. We got flat PCE, and PCE has in general been falling over the past year. So that means the Fed's higher interest rate policy has actually been reducing inflation. It's been effective. They don't want to be too harsh on the rates, too high on the rates, because that would slow the economy too much. And we are beginning to see signs of slowing of the economy. But all these things at the moment are actually not a bad sign overall. Effectively, this is potentially a soft landing, as they call it, which is the best of all worlds. But it's very, very precarious. The Fed are very much on a knife edge here. They don't want to stifle growth, but they don't want to allow inflation to get out of hand. So it's a real balancing act to manage, and it's not an easy job for them. I think they've, in general, done a very good job so far of keeping growth stable and robust, in fact, in America, and keeping interest rates under reasonable control, not elevating them too high, but obviously not lowering them to let the economy run away with itself. So, hats off to the Fed. I'm always slating the Fed and saying, why don't they think further ahead? They do have data that we're not privy to. So maybe they know that the economy is softening a little bit, and maybe that's why they're talking about lowering interest rates. So the problem is the market loves certainty. Right now, we don't have any certainty. We have a couple of weeks to wait for this Fed meeting, and the signs are still a little bit both ways in terms of what's going to happen with interest rates. I think the bias is towards lower rates, but there's worry in the market. But it could also be basically buy the rumor, sell the news event, in reverse, in fact, here, where effectively the market's selling off, anticipating the news. But when the news does come out, maybe we get that rally. Maybe it comes before the 2 weeks. We can never tell the exact timing of what's going on in the markets. But all I can say is from a wave structure perspective, we've had an impulse higher, and this is a correction down. And even if we look on a longer time frame here, we can actually see very clearly that we've had impulses higher to the upside, and then this is all corrective sideways movement during these summer months. And in fact, pretty much during the summer months. So we peaked in end of March, beginning of April, we peaked on the market, and we've been moving sideways up and down ever since. So this is, as we say over and over, it's corrective movement. So we should expect new highs above this local high here of $210 for Solana, and possibly challenging the previous all-time high of 258. Solana is very, very sensitive, and it's one of those assets that moves more up or down depending on market expectations. But just to go back to the 4-hour, there are some promising signs. There is light at the end of the tunnel here for Solana. So I'm very sensitive to divergence signals. So for example, we had this bearish divergence signal here. I'll just draw the lower line in to just show it clearly. For some reason, let's just do that again. Yeah, that's okay. So we can see very clearly here, we had higher peaks on the price, so higher highs on the price, lower highs on RSI. That is what's called divergence when they're going in opposite directions. And in this particular case, it's what's called bearish divergence, and it signals a reversal in price. And so from this point here, we expected a reversal, and that was actually at the local high of 193 or something. And you can see the market moved down really sharply from 193 to 110. So massive percentage movement there in Solana. And so that's a downward movement. And now we're basically, we appear to have moved up. If we, again, focus back to the longer term briefly, we can see that's potentially the end of an ABC correction, the C wave down here. That's potentially where we've ended down here. And now we're beginning to move back to the upside again. And so just to expand it out again and look at the next divergences. So we just looked at this divergence, which told us there's a market sell-off coming. We also had another divergence appearing here. And this one was a different kind of divergence. This was regular bearish. This one is actually hidden bearish divergence. This one is when you get lower lows on price lower highs on price and higher highs on RSI. So this is hidden bearish divergence. It tells you of a continuation of this downtrend, which again is precisely what happens. This has been very, very accurate so far. But then, quite importantly, we're looking at today's divergence signal. And I'll say today, this is right up to date, right up to the minute, really. And this is the 4 hour, so it's very, very current. So we can see here that we have basically a regular bullish divergence signal. So you need to probably learn these. Maybe I'll go through it at some point, give a lesson on the various types of divergences and how to recognize them. But this one is regular bullish divergence. And basically, it's got lower lows on price, but higher lows on the corresponding RSI. So this tells you that a reversal is expected. And precisely on cue, that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment. A reversal in Solana is beginning. It's not to say it's 100%. No signal is 100%, but this is a very accurate signal. And if we get confirmation through chart patterns that this reversal has taken place. So for example, this morning when I saw this reversal signal, ideal time to jump in. You can now actually protect, even $1 of profit if you want, and wait for more upside. If it goes down, you're protected. That's the way I use these signals. And this is really, for me, very encouraging that we've got a regular divergence signal. Now, we could see further down, as I say, with this correction. The invalidation would be to drop below here, which was $110 we saw on Solana. So there's potential there. So that is my risk on this trade, is below that level. The upside is very substantial. We have, I've measured this wave down here, the W wave. I transposed the X wave, and we've already passed 100%. And we're potentially targeting lower. Now, it doesn't have to equal a fib number, and it often doesn't. We've seen other Fibonacci relationships within this pattern that are working out, and they never all work together. But we've seen the 1.618 is further down. If price spikes lower again, I would then look to DCA and average more into this position. So I might stop out on this one possibly if it goes lower, but at the moment, actually, it's roaring away really nicely. I mean, 131, it's gone up over $1 just in time of talking now. So this signal has been extremely accurate for the moment. So I'm encouraged the fact that very often, as Bruce often says, timing is really important. The Asian markets have opened, the European markets are now open, and we're seeing a reversal from the weekend. The weekend markets were closed in general. Crypto markets don't close, of course, but they still go quiet. And when the markets open up again, as I say, we're looking at Asia and Europe so far, America to follow later. Let's hope that we get some follow through and push higher. As I say, I'm quite encouraged by what I'm seeing at the moment. So that's Solana. We will take a look at Bitcoin. Again, we've seen the same picture with Bitcoin. I won't draw all the divergences in, but we've had this chart showing for some time saying that the move up appears to be impulsive and we're getting a corrective move down. So I am expecting more upside. And looking again, if we just focus back to the longer term, it's always good to scale out to actually see where we are in the overall long-term picture. That was wave 3 higher to the all-time high for Bitcoin of 73,000 and odd. We've had a corrective choppy move, overlapping choppy move down. This spike was a very typical spike low. It's not saying necessarily it's the low, but it looks really promising as a potential low for the wave 4. So again, probably some sort of WXY movement down maybe to give us a wave 4. But whatever it is, it's a corrective movement down for wave 4. Then I think we're moving up quite nicely now in a 5th wave, which should take us to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. Not immediately. Nothing ever moves in a straight line, but it's looking really encouraging. So if we now open it up, going down to the 4-hour signal again, the 4-hour time frame, we can see I've got it labeled here as a wave 1 up, and the wave 1 itself was made up of 2 down to here, 3 up to here, 4 and 5, and then a wave 2 down, which is an ABC wave 2 down, and then potentially a 5th wave here. We could even label this potentially as still 1, 2. All of this movement here could be 3, this can be 4, and this can be 5. Either way, it's looking like an impulse higher. There's no overlap here between this wave 2 down here and this wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So even if you counted this as wave 2 or wave 4, there's no overlap problems. So whichever way you count it, it's looking like an impulse, either a 1, 2, 1, 2, or just a larger 1 and then 2 here. So either way, it's looking like an impulse higher. And right now, again, we also have, I'll just draw it in for us to see, we do also have regular bullish divergence, and it's good just to see. So first of all, I'll draw from the low points on the RSI, and then we'll look at the corresponding points on the price. So just to line them up, so the price from here to just line it up perfectly to here. You don't count the spikes, by the way, on the price. You just count the solid candle bodies when you're doing this. And we can very clearly see there's clear bullish, regular bullish divergence. Here's the invalidation point below. So that would be my first trade stop out, would be just below there. And then the next major support line is down here. I don't expect it to drop down here. In fact, I'm really hoping that with this regular bullish divergence in place now and a strong green candlestick we're seeing so far, I'm hoping we've actually finished this downward move. It's not a certainty, but I'm very hopeful. But overall, longer term, I'm extremely hopeful because this does look like it's been corrected down, and I think we're just beginning the movement up. So this will be good because we're coming towards the end of the summer now. We are entering, people are starting to come back. We're in September now. People are starting to come back. The traders are starting to come back. And this will be the ideal time, especially everything's lining up beautifully with the Fed, hopefully lowering interest rates September 18th. We'll see what the commentary is. But it's really encouraging. And of course, election year, everything's lining up nicely. There's lots of demand for Bitcoin out there. I think the rest will follow through. I think we're actually set for a really good Bitcoin season and alt season. I think they're all going to follow through really nicely. So that's my feeling. I'm extremely optimistic right now. The signals are all lining up nicely. Not to say we won't get minor downturns, so don't over leverage or anything like that. But I think we can be reasonably confident of a good solid movement higher. We're seeing exactly the same on Ethereum. Again, we've seen some sort of, certainly a corrective move down, it looks like here. And I think we're going to see substantial movement to the upside. Ethereum is actually a little bit less clear, to be honest, than Bitcoin and some of the other alts as well. But it looks as though when we scale out a little bit, it really does look as though we've had an ABC kind of correction down. Interestingly, it was very, very interesting that when we moved up from the bottom of this wave 4, you see the price moved up and it moved precisely to this line here, which is now overhead resistance. Now it really needs to break that. We need to see that break. We're now on 2,500 on Ethereum. The line is 2,814, somewhere around there, 2,800 odd. We need to break that line to be confident that we're moving higher. And we haven't managed to do it. Quite a few times it's bounced on this line here. You can see as we've tried higher, it tried lower and failed. Eventually it broke through it. Now it was support here. It kept price above it. Once it was broken, support then flipped over to become resistance. And we pushed up, tried the resistance and failed and came back down. I'm hoping and believing that this time as we try resistance, we'll break through it. And if we break through, we should then get some concerted, consistent movement to the upside. So that's really a very, very important level to watch. And it'll be a very, very important level to be, people will be placing trades. They'll be having stop losses around that level. If you were short, you'll definitely, if it breaks above there, you'll be looking to close your shorts, I imagine. I've certainly not been short. I'm actually optimistic this market. And though we're seeing quiet summer, a bit of a tail off, sideways movement in the summer, I'm not concerned overall. I think this is looking really, really positive. So we'll just flip around the rest of the market. It's a little bit surprised on dollar index. Again, these support levels are very, very important. We saw long-term support. It just spiked fractionally below it, but that support held for the time being. If we get the Fed reducing rates in September, mid-September, then we're going to see DXY falling further. That should be a positive sign for risk assets. SPX, that's the S&P 500. Again, we have some beautiful divergent signals. We've got a really nice one here telling us of the upside to come. I think we've had a very nice and clear wave 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down. And we're just working on the beginnings of fifth wave higher. Fifth wave higher will take us, I believe, to new all-time highs for the S&P 500. And I believe that will this time coincide with new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So I think that correlation, there's a reasonable correlation between Bitcoin and S&P and NASDAQ especially. I think that correlation will hold here as we push higher on the markets in expectation of lower interest rates to come. So we'll just briefly look at oil again. Oil is not going anywhere really, so that's not a bad sign. Oil's reasonably priced, it's not too expensive. It's come down a little bit, so a little bit of easing of the inflation pressure, because obviously oil is a major expense both for retail and for business. So if we're seeing lower oil prices, that can only be a good thing for inflation, and of course then the knock-on interest rate expectations, which are what really fuel the economy. They actually allow money flow in the economy. The others, I mean, we can see pretty well concerted green across the board. The only ones which aren't green, SPX is obviously closed at the moment. It's just looking at futures there, but gold is lower, oil is fractionally lower. The rest of the market in general, not 100%, but in general, the rest of the market's higher. Litecoin is a notable exception, but it had a really good run the other day. Actually, it outperformed other coins the other day. So again, we've got, I think, an impulsive move to the upside, very corrective to the downside. We can see this move up here has overlapped this move down here. And so we can be reasonably confident that we're going to push higher and substantially higher on Litecoin as well. So across the board, really confident. And again, just probably finish up on Toncoin. We had, obviously we had a very sharp sell-off with Pavel Durov being arrested. I think that will blow over. It's actually now captive to the rest of the crypto market. Once the crypto market takes off, I think we're going to see very substantial upside. This, I'm just looking at the divergence in play here. There is divergence in play here, telling us of the move up from here. That divergence, let's just see. We don't have divergence in play right at the moment, but we did have from here, and the market did move up quite nicely. We moved down, but I do expect the market to move up further. So if we look from here, we've got basically flat, because remember, you don't take into account the spikes on here. So we've got a flat here and we've got up here. So you could say potentially that we do have a divergence in place. We'd have to look at that maybe on a different time frame to see. But I'm still expecting movement higher for Toncoin. I think that's really positive. And all the rest are looking, as we know, the memes, like Booker memes, outperforming the rest at the moment. Jupiter and the Solana DEX is looking good. So in general, market's looking really positive. I'm very encouraged. I think this is going to be a good week, I believe. And I think we shouldn't be discouraged by the correction that we've seen. It is just corrective, choppy, sideways movement. So hope that was helpful. I know Bruce has been doing a lot of work, and I've been doing some work as well behind the scenes on trying to bring something even more informative and powerful to you on a regular basis. So I think Bruce will probably have more to say about that. But thank you for listening. Have a great week. Look forward to catching up tomorrow, and bye for now.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. The great Matt Dixon, and we are working on stuff behind the scenes, which is it's awesome. It is awesome. We're super excited about it. We've been doing this show now for almost, we're coming up on a year anyway, a couple months off of a year. We started in December. We even did shows on Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to do a show where you guys are right here. And of course, we're on TV. TV is a bit of a different animal. Of course, people just turn that on and they leave it on. And we also stream live, where a lot of you can interact with us on X and on YouTube and these other platforms. I do like them both. I will say, there's a lot of money in both. There's a lot of money on TV, and there's a lot of money on the social media as well. Hats off to our friends with Smart Money Culture TV network. If you want to get your stuff on TV, if you want to reach millions and millions of people like we are, reach out to me. Let me know. You can also go over there to smartmoneyculture.tv, smartmoneyculture.tv, and click the, we want to click the contact form there. And that's pretty cool. So I want to talk a little bit about my friends over at Polka Gold and Dalgo. Polka Gold and Dalgo. These guys, I love these guys. And there's a big reason. I'm just going to write out the post as I say it here. talking about my friends at P Gold Official and Dalgo Official at 49, I think it was 30, we'll say, on the Impact Money Show. One of the reasons why I love these are because 49, they have the liquidity locked. And it's not just like liquidity in US dollars or something like that, which we think is going to slide. Okay. It's liquidity in Algorand. Algorand has really been performing so nicely. So this was started by Algorand and Polkadot whales. Let me see. Check out why I am so bullish on Dalgo and P Gold. Oops. So, talked about it a number of times, but one of the reasons why I'm so bullish is it was started by these whales, and they locked and renounced the contract. The founders are anonymous, so that we don't have a situation where they can just arrest them like they did with Pavel Durov, right? They're anonymous, and they started it. They locked the liquidity, and that's it, guys. It's over. You know what I mean? And then they just let it go. And so there is a floor. Now the floor is in Algorand. So Algorand slides, of course it slides. But Algorand recently just made such an impressive move upward, and its low is like 8 cents. That's the bottom of the bottom that it's gone, and it is now, it almost doubled. Okay, and then you see Bitcoin's now, it's like 4 times, right? So Algorand's at 8 cents. It's like 12 cents or whatever it is right now. The ecosystem is booming. Okay, the ecosystem is absolutely booming on Algorand. Everyone is super excited about it. And it has so far to go. All-time high is like $3. So as that goes higher, just like I showed you in the beginning of the show, I said, okay, see, look, Bitcoin made a 1% move. Ethereum made a 2.5% move. Bitcoin made a 1% move. You know, Binance Coin made a 2% move. You know, so when the market goes up, the assets that are trading, the trading pairs will move up a lot of times even more. And so that's really what we're looking at here. Now, Dalgo is kind of like their fun meme coin. Okay, so what they did with Dalgo was they locked over 10% of the Polka Gold supply into the liquidity pools. Same setup, right? It's a very good way to do it. So they lock it there in the liquidity pools, and then it's just then they kind of let it ride. Okay, and that way you have a bottom, right? You have something that is really, really cool. Now, what they did with Dalgo that was so cool, in my opinion, let me just for some reason this thing keeps doing that. Okay, I'm gonna bring this back. Boom, 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 bam. All right, so I'm going to continue playing that in a minute. But with all of the locked liquidity, these are set to run, guys. So when we have a market pullback, they usually, I mean, they're not even pulling back usually as much, but sometimes okay. But then when we go up, these things are set to run. Dalgo is the meme coin that they started with the P Gold liquidity. It's their meme coin. It's basically their advertising branch. Okay, it's their advertising branch. And what's a smart way to do it? A fun meme coin, Dalgo, a play on algo, D-algo, Dalgo. He looks like the lizard from that favorite movie, Rango. And it's cool. And it's like their advertising branch. And I am so bullish on this. I think that these things are going to really go, not financial advice and all that stuff, but I think these things are really going to go. This is the Dalgo anthem. I jam out to this at the beginning of the show sometimes. Take a look.
Yeah, Dalgo is the meme killer. Cashing out with your thriller. House party lights all flashing. Pop a bottle, no relaxing. Flexing in the VIP. Bitches kinda feeling free. Thug life, we wildin' out. Nothing but that money cloud. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me and money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. Drink in hand, it's a vibe. Haters watching, trying to snipe. We bring the heat, no denying. In the club, doggo flying. Got my crew, yeah, we deep. Stacking sats, no time for sleep. Bitches dancing, feel that fire. Doggo fam, we taking it high. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me and money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. Drink in hand, it's a vibe. Haters watching, trying to snipe. We bring the heat, no denying. In the club, doggos flying. Got my crew, yeah, we deep. Stacking sats, no time for sleep. Bitches dancing, feel that fire. Doggo fam, we taking it high. Y'all go, we ballin' worldwide. Me money, we can't hide. Popping tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. Drink in hand, it's a vibe. Haters watching, trying to snipe. We bring the heat, no denying. In the club, doggos flying. Got my crew, yeah, we deep. Stacking sats, no time for sleep. Bitches dancing, feel that fire. Doggo fam, we taking it higher. New York City, we own the night. The Doggo fam, we ready to fight. Meme lords, we taking over. Flip the script, we got the clover. All these hookers wanna front, but we grinding, never stunt. Doggo making big moves. In the game, we got the groove. So raise your glass, let's toast to the ones who do the most. For the life we live in bold. Doggo worldwide, watch it unfold. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. So remember the name is clear. Doggo's here, bring the cheer. Me money, house party high. We the kings, watch us fly. So remember the name, it's clear. Doggo's here, bring the cheer. Me money, house party high. We the kings, watch us fly.
I mean, you gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. So it's one of the slickest moves I've seen. Guys, I've seen a lot. Okay, I like you to have a nice way in, which is a nice price right now, and I like you to have a nice way out. Okay, and those locked liquidity pools make me feel comfortable that when you want to sell, that you can sell. And that's, of course, that's an important part of the equation, right? We want to put our money in, and sometimes we want to get it back out. But I think a long-term play on this one is super. It's a sexy coin. Polka Gold trades under P Gold. Put it back up there. Polka Gold and the meme coin Doggo. Now, Polka Gold has, like, they've obviously as well, these guys are working behind the scenes like all the time, and they've negotiated some ridiculous amount of staking. If you have Polka Gold, you get like 400% if you go over and stake it. If you stake Algorand, Tiny, and Polka Gold all together, you get like 400% or something. And if you stake Doggo, then you add another 15%. But I mean, it's like major. It's major what they've set up. So check them out, polkagold.tech and Doggo.tech. That's the websites. I love those guys. I am long. You can reach out to me on DM on X or whatever, and we can talk about it. It's total community coin. While I'm talking about that, I haven't talked about my buddies over here at Tangem in a while. Tangem. So Tangem, this is a hardware wallet. Now, you're going to see, as you start to do different things on crypto, guys, I've had a lot of coins stolen from me over the years. Unfortunately, it happens. The Tangem is as slim as a bank card, secure as a bank vault. Store, buy, earn, transfer, and swap thousands of coins and tokens. You can swap them right in from the app there. It's from $54.90. That's with my code, okay? 25-year warranty. Tangem is redefining the wallet experience by delivering top-level security, simplicity, and accessibility. Enjoy complete autonomy and independence while managing your assets with a single tap. Tangem Wallet breaks down the barriers for crypto. Make sure to use Impact Money. Let me put that thing up here. Tangem. Make sure to use discount code Impact Money when you order this. Okay, get yourself a 10% discount. They also have a ring. The ring you have to order early. Okay. So that's not, you're just doing pre-orders now, but it is pretty sexy. You tap that ring on your finger. It comes with 2 of the cards as well. 3 unique devices on one hardware wallet. You can tap it there with your phone with the RFID thing. And then, like I said, it also comes with 2 cards. So it's pretty cool. So check them out. tangem.com. Use discount code Impact Money. Impact Money. Well, I hope you guys are going to enjoy your Labor Day. Let me see here. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about. I think we pretty much covered the crypto markets for the moment. One thing that has really started to worry me lately is this chant that I see people, and they get upset at you if you don't go along with it. And it's like, they're like, too big to rig. They say we're too big to rig. Let me just put this there. I got to change my, here we go. And too big to rig sounds like a bunch of baloney to me, guys. I mean, how are we too big to rig? I got like warning signs going off in my mind here. Too big to rig. Too big to rig. Is MAGA too big to rig? I don't think so, guys. We have millions of newcomers. We have the magic, electronic voting machines. And we have millions of mail-in ballots and media controlled by the central banking cartel, who of course are all Israelis, so people would think, oh no, they support Trump, but I don't know, guys. It doesn't look that way to me. Doesn't look that way to me. The media, just turn on the media, and you will see that they don't. The media is not in the bag for Trump. That's for sure. Yeah, on Impact Money Show. So, if you make, I mean, you know, I think personally, what I think is it's another CIA op. I think that too big to rig comes from the same guys that said trust the plan. And it's designed to make you sit on your couch and not do anything right now about it. Too big to rig. Just to like give you guys some things to think about here and how close. Let's talk about how close we were in these states. 50,000. I think that should pull up my tweet. We like literally won and lost states by tens of thousands of votes. Tens of thousands. Let me see, 56,000. Maybe that'll bring it up. 56,000. Trump on PA. Maybe that'll bring it up. Anyway, as I am here, I tweet so much or I post on X so much that it's hard sometimes when I'm doing it to pull up the post I want. But we basically, all of those battleground states, here it is, I found it. Election night 2020 when the vote was halted. This is not right. This is not the one I wanted. When the vote was halted, he was up by a lot in all the states. Pennsylvania, Trump was up by 600. I'll share this for a minute while I'm looking because we're talking about it. But Trump was up by, when they stopped counting, election night 2020, when the count was halted, Pennsylvania, Trump was up by 682 votes, 682,000 votes. Georgia, he was up by 311,000 votes. Michigan, he was up by 307,000 votes. Wisconsin, he was up by 128,000 votes. North Carolina was up by 77,000 votes. At 4 a.m., van came, eyewitness testimonies, and their cell phone footage, and they shut us all down. Now they're trying to arrest Elon to make sure that we don't have any recourse. Let's see, that's not the one I want, though. I have one here that of course, this was testimony. You guys probably saw this. This guy talked about
through the morning, in the morning, that you brought ballots from Bethpage, New York, down to Harrisburg to offload in Lancaster.
Yeah, I brought them down. From my knowledge, I brought ballots down, mail-in ballots from Bethpage, New York. That was supposed to be to Harrisburg. Somewhere in there, something really, really wrong, weird happened. When I was supposed to be unloaded in Harrisburg, PA, I wasn't. I sat there and waited. Instead of being unloaded, they had me bring the mail-in ballots down to Lancaster, and that's where I dropped them off at. From there, what happened to them, I don't know. I don't know where the ballots went. I don't know anything. I don't even know if they were offloaded, to be honest with you.
The state rep.
Well, this is all I'm going to say is that I have nothing to gain. I have everything to lose. I have a wife that we've been in arguments about just me talking to you guys. I have a job that I'm probably going to end up losing, where I make over 100K a year. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. I didn't vote for no one. I just figure, in my opinion, is why vote for someone for the lesser of the two evils is how I looked at it. I didn't see why should I vote. Like I just.
Did your uncle tell you what to say? No one told me what to say. No one. That's just, this is how this. I say my own words. If I feel that I've seen something that I don't like, if I see that I've seen something that is not right, then I'm going to speak up about it, and that's the God's honest truth. I believe in honesty, an honest election. At least I think the people of America deserve an honest election. I mean, God forbid, but this is supposed to be America.
So I bring that up because I think it's important for us to realize what's going on. I worked at the Board of Elections. Hundreds of ballots go missing. Do you think we're too big to rig? Roseanne. Let's see what Rosanna says here. Do you think we're too big to rig? I asked her. So if people are going to bring in truckloads of ballots, they brought in 10 to 20 million newcomers who, by all indications, are being encouraged to vote. I played a clip in the last show, I think, and talked about how this one guy that had been flown over here, he had gotten 4 snail mails encouraging him to go vote, to register to vote. Register to vote, they kept telling him. Register to vote. And this was one of the people that they brought in on the plane. So they don't want the border to be rushed all the time, right? So they brought him in on the plane. All right, I'm hoping I can find this, what I wanted to, because I did want to show this. It is tricky, but how few votes we won by or lost by. Without going into it, I guess, if I'm not able to find it, I mean, we literally won in 2016. We won in Pennsylvania by 60,000 points. We won in Michigan by 50,000 points. And in 2020, it wasn't very hard for them to just move it a little bit. They didn't have to move it much. Right? I mean, you don't have to move it much. And so they're flying these people in here. Let me see. Razor thin. Maybe that'll bring it up. Otherwise, I'll save it for the next show. I think, as I said, this is a CIA op. Trump 1 MI. Let me see that. Maybe that. Pull it up. I'm having trouble giving up. Sorry. This is exactly what they told everybody to do during the last election. Just relax, that everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Stay home. Stay home. You don't need to worry. Just go vote. No, don't stay home. Just go vote. Just go vote. That's it. That's all you need to do is go vote. Meanwhile, we have all of these shenanigans going on. We got all these shenanigans. I mean, I'm coming up with all kinds of good stuff here. Look, remember this guy?
All right, I'm here with another fantastic patriot. Actually, served some papers in there, did you?
Yeah, we gave all of the county supervisors notices, affidavits that they had dereliction of duty, and they're not doing their job, and they needed to do something about it, so that they can't deny hearing it, they can't deny seeing it. That was the point of that. The issue or solution to this election rests in a couple of laws. One is Arizona 16-442B. That's 16-442B. Just Google Arizona revised statutes and that comes up. And if you read it carefully, and it's very short, about a paragraph, it'll say that the election machines must be certified by an accredited test lab. And if they're not, then they're not certified. The problem, if you go back and look very carefully at the paperwork, and we've collected this evidence over the past few years, is that the accreditations had expired at the time of the original accreditation. That goes back to 2018 when Steve Gaynor won the election.
It's on and on. So part of the problem is, of course, with X now, I just noticed they have all kinds of different things. The courts didn't save us in 2020. They aren't going to in 2022 either. This was a couple years ago. And they won't in 2024. Judges are not revolutionists. Anyway, all right, I'm going to throw in the towel here. All right. That's it. I'm over it. Okay. The point is this. I'm not voting for Kamala. Well, yeah, I'm glad you're not voting for Kamala. Me too. I mean, I'm going to vote. I'm voting Trump too. Do you think we're too big to rig? The reason I bring it up, guys, is because I think that everyone's going to be so upset. I think right now, I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose. The left is happy with Kamala. They have total control of the media. They have total control of the mail-in ballot system. They have total control of the magic electronic voting machines. And they have total control of 10 to 20 million newcomers who will vote if they tell them to. And they'll vote for their continued hotel and their continued paycheck. And I know there's a couple other people that I see saying the same thing. Guys, I don't like, and with the control of the media, they're going to, like you saw it over the weekend, Kamala's surging past Trump. But here's the thing, guys. You can say that's fake as much as you want, and maybe it's fake. But I'll tell you what, go talk to some Democrats. They're pretty happy with Kamala, not Biden. They're happy with Kamala. So the fact that Trump isn't like 30 points ahead right now is very worrying. And they're going to continue to push, oh, she's ahead and she's ahead and she's ahead. So that doesn't matter what happens on election day. They're going to cook the vote again. They probably won't even have to shut everything down this time because they know ahead of time what's going to happen. And then the RNC, we have Mr. Never Trump in charge and Laura Trump underneath. I mean, hey, I'm sure Laura is very nice. She's certainly well connected. She's second in charge. I don't want to make anybody mad at me, but what their plan is to go after everybody who's cheating. We're going to go after everyone who's cheating. And where are you going to prosecute them? In the courts that are already cooked from the last 30 years of nonsense and appointments and buy-offs? We couldn't even get anybody to hear any of our cases. Anyway, I feel like the canary in the coal mine here, but too big to rig. That sounds to me like a CIA operation. Trust the plan, they said. Trump is still in charge, they said. It is very likely that Trump is sentenced to jail in a week or two in New York. Kamala is going to be really surging then. Oh, man. It's kind of crazy, guys. And I feel like, I feel like the canary in the coal mine. We are not too big to rig. Too big to rig. I could rig it if I had control of the magic electronic voting machines and the mail-in ballots. I could rig it. Why in the world do we think that they won't rig it? They rigged 2020. They rigged 2022. They're probably going to put Trump in jail. Steve Bannon's in jail. There's a bunch of guys that gone to jail. There's 160 guys that were protesting the election results. Dead people are casting votes. Yeah, of course. That too. We got dead people casting votes. Absolutely. That's how they roll. Dead people always vote Democrat. It's a funny thing, right? If we do win, if he does win with all of this going on, and I don't think he's going to, guys, I'm telling you right now, not the way this is setting up, but if he does win, it's because they want him to win. Maybe they do want him to win. Maybe the central banking cartel wants him to win. I don't know. Doesn't look like it to me, though. There was actually a video that, as I pulled my screen down, when Trump exposed Netanyahu. I guess I'll play it. Because this is what they're scared about. And I know a lot of them really like him, but this is the wild card part of Trump. And this is what they're scared of.
It's going to have to do with both sides, but a lot will have to do with Israel and whether or not Israel wants to make the deal. As far as settlements, I'd like to see you hold back on settlements for a little bit. We'll work something out, but I would like to see a deal be made. It might be a bigger and better deal than people in this room even understand. That's a possibility. So let's see what we do. Doesn't sound too optimistic, but that's... I was disappointed in Bibi, just on a personal basis. I thought he wanted to make a deal more than Netanyahu. And I will be honest, I had a great meeting with him, Abbas, right? I had a great meeting with him, and we spent a lot of time together, talked about many things. And it was almost like a father. I mean, he was so nice. Couldn't have been nicer. And after meeting with Bibi for 3 minutes, I looked at him and said, "You don't want to make a deal, do you?" And he said, "Well, and the fact is, I don't think Bibi ever wanted to make a deal."
And so that's what he's a wild card. Trump says what he says what's on his mind. And he actually thinks stuff. And so he's not like, a lot of people that are against us, they're very calculated. They're thinking about how to make things look and how to present things and everything way more than we do. We're like, reactionary. Our minds aren't cluttered with that stuff. And that's how he is too, guys. In a lot of ways, he shoots from the hip. They get him down and there he goes, "Well, I don't think that Netanyahu wanted a deal. I was very disappointed. I don't think he wanted a deal." I asked him, he said, "Well, So he's a wild card. And so even though you would think that the central banking cartel and the Israel and the rest of everybody would really want Trump, he's not as controllable as the other side. The other side, they may say this, that, and the other, but they do whatever they want. Trump's going to come in and be like, "Look, we need peace one way or the other." And he may come out and say, "Oh, well, we need to make Israel bigger." I mean, he says whatever. He says what he says, right? He said it himself. "Well, I say what I say." And it's true. He does. He says what he says. Doesn't mean he's going to say the same thing tomorrow or an hour later. He might get some new information, go in a meeting and come out and be like, "Well, this is totally different than what he said before." So in that respect, and that's why I think we see the media totally against him and everybody totally against him. Because he's not as controllable. They're definitely playing their cards both ways, but we'll see. We'll see. With the magic electronic voting machines, the millions of mail-in ballots, and the tens of millions, it's really hundreds of millions or tens of millions, with the magic electronic voting machines, the tens of millions of mail-in ballots, and the tens of millions of newcomers. If he still wins, I think it'll be because they decided that he's going to win. And of course we voted for him, but otherwise the other side is too easy to control. They're in love with money and women or men or whatever their thing is. Too easy to control. So I got to do a little longer show today, which is fun. I didn't have to run my kids to school. It's Labor Day. I wanted to finish off with one of my good friends over at Dog or Flower. Dog or Flower is a fun meme coin. It is on the Ton network. Of course, Ton has taken a major dip. And so have the coins that are on it. Dog or Flower. Part and parcel now of the monetary revolution with the Paval brothers. See them there, right there. Right? Dog or Flower. Very fun coin, trades as or. Maybe it's a dog, maybe it's a flower. They have their new X page over here. Dog or flower. And this is getting a lot of views and attention. Part and parcel of the monetary revolution, dog or flower. I do firmly believe that this dip that we're in right now will turn, and it is probably a very nice entry point. So dog or flower is one of those ones that moves emotionally, so it'll move very, very quickly. Highly speculative stuff. I get paid to do this. This is not financial advice, all that stuff, okay? But dog or flower, dogorflower.io. Make sure to check them out. Dog or flower trades as or. I'm helping them out a bit here. Share this tab. Let me add that one more time here. You can go to dogorflower.io. Check them out. Meet the most memeable dog on Ton. In the world of memes and dogs, we have seen a huge community formed. Doggy, Doge, and Shib have become the biggest meme coins. Whiff showed us that silly and cute is worth billions. This is the most memeable and adorable dog on Ton. Dog or flower, or is unique, original, and extremely memeable. This flower dog was born to take over Ton. A growing community has formed. Get involved, guys. Dog or flower. Big mover, I think. Big mover here. Fun coin. These meme coins are fun. And with that, my friends, I will leave you. I'll see you on TV in a few hours. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost,